Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of the Smile Syndicate Music Hour, the home of fun time music and comedy. We're coming at you live to tape from Smileton, Alberta, the podcasting capital of the world. I'm excited to hear today's songs. Let's go, Jason.
Well, thanks, Miss Elizabeth. Oh, and hello, my dear listener friend. Thanks so much for checking in with us today. Oh, this Monday episode of the Smile Syndicate Music Hour is going to electrify you. It's going to stupefy you. It's going to bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
Miss Elizabeth and I are going to work very hard for this hour or so to bring you the very best in fun time comedy, capering, musical entertainment. You can't find a better way to spend your time. We can see what you're up to sometimes there, dear listener friend. We keep tabs on our listeners, and we know you can kind of get up to some funny business. Better to keep you on the straight and narrow at least for an hour or so today. Why not?
I'm super excited because we just had a brand new song come out last week, and I know that we're starting this show off with because we always start the show off with a new song if it came out the previous show.
What? Oh, okay. Well, the format of the show has just gone topsy-turvy. We at least wait for the anonymous ne'er-do-well to request a song via the pneumatic tube. Miss Elizabeth, if you want to ignore those anonymous rude ne'er-do-wells, I'm behind you. If you just want to pick a song, we can do that. I have no trouble with that at all. I'm going to look forward to a good episode here where we don't worry about that tube interrupting us anymore.
So we don't often have a brand new song. So I think that it's only fair to start the show with the new song. And also, sometimes the pneumatic tube doesn't even contain a request for a song.
Well, that's a safe bet, actually. Well, I know you're charged up, Miss Elizabeth. I'm charged up in this wonderful studio audience we have assembled here in the Smile Syndicate HQ is ready to go. They're packed to the rafters. Why are they so excited today? It's because I put up a sandwich board out on the sidewalk and it said free t-shirt day at the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. They all got their free t-shirts, and I look up there and I don't see one of them wearing it. Not one.
You gave them all free t-shirts?
Yeah, Smile Syndicate shirts. I thought it might build some enthusiasm, get some excitement going, and everyone was so happy to get their T-shirt. And when they unfolded it and look at it, they just went, oh. And during I warm up with them. Well, I give a 45-minute stand-up comedy routine to warm up the audience before we start taping here.
Of course.
And I asked them, what gives you ne'er-do-wells? Why aren't you wearing your T-shirt? And they're like, well, we thought it would be a nice T-shirt, like a stylish, hip T-shirt, like an $80 T-shirt, not a Smile Syndicate Music Hour T-shirt. So I don't know. Some of them kind of gave the shirt back. Some of them are keeping it for a rag to use in the garage. They're ne'er-do-wells, Miss Elizabeth. I don't know why we let a studio audience here in the first place.
Well, I wasn't involved in the making of the T-shirt, so I guess I should probably check out the design.
It's spelled Syndicate was spelled wrong anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh. Yeah, speaking of not really mattering, there's a Smile Syndicate pneumatic tube.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, we're dear listener friend, we are recording this show for video for possible later use. Miss Elizabeth is showing how the sausage is made. I don't think that's very good. Anyway, the pneumatic tube is off camera. It just arrived. Miss Elizabeth, what is the message from that anonymous ne'er-do-well?
So I've opened it. I'm opening it now.
Yes.
It says, eep. Oh, I think it's like a sound effect. This is a test of the Smileton emergency pneumatic tube system. I didn't know that you could get emergency messages.
No.
If this had been a real emergency, your receptacle would receive further news and instructions. Repeat, this is only a test.
Okay, useless. What? If there was an emergency and stuff started going down and started getting real out there in Smileton, I'm not relying on the pneumatic tube to save me.
No, I didn't even know that you could get emergency signals from the pneumatic tube.
If some enemy had launched a strike against Smileton, I would expect that pneumatic tube system to turn against us in a heartbeat.
Well, it would
and prove itself useful to our enemy.
I don't think so. I think it would be a useful way to communicate with the rest of the town because the pneumatic tube system's been around for decades and decades.
It's got to go. It
won't go. Nobody's in charge of it. It seems to grow on its own, like a plant.
Well, that's an issue for another day, Miss Elizabeth. Let's hear a song in the meantime.
How about 10 fingers, 9 toes?
Let's go.
The lady is a beauty, her mind's a mile deep, friendly as a postman. What kind of secrets?
10 fingers, 9 toes by the Smile Syndicate right here on the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. A brand new song premiered last Thursday, last
right.
week,
Yeah.
last episode, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
It's shaken the world's foundations already.
And how is that song now? Do you have any little tweaks to make to it, or is it
not
pretty
yet,
much
not
album
yet.
ready?
It's almost album ready. We'll see. The Smile
You
Syndicate.
love that song.
I'm quite happy with it. Yeah,
You're very
the Smile
happy with
Syndicate
it.
album, a new one, is starting to take shape. We have a number of Smile Syndicate future classics ready to go on that thing. I don't know when it'll be ready, but new work. There's a new song underway already, so
Yeah.
there's going to be another new one on this show not too long from now.
Yeah, and you have indicated that you might be willing to entitle the next album 10 Fingers, 9 Toes,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Apparently, everything I tell you, Miss Elizabeth, goes straight on the show. I better get used to it. Well, before I blow a gasket here, dear listener friend, I think I ought to let you know what's coming up straight ahead on the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. This very episode, we're going to be checking in with the Smile Syndicate Music Chart, that most hellaciously competitive music chart in the business. Songs compete with an intensity unheard of since ancient Roman days. These gladiators smush each other's skulls with hammers of iron just to move ahead in the chart. And you might ask yourself, why do they do that? Why the intensity? Because if they didn't, they'd get smushed and left on the roadside like a pile of unidentifiable...
Yeah.
Like a pile of unidentifiable viscera, Miss Elizabeth. Song doesn't want to be that. A song wants to move up one spot in the chart, and that's why it's fighting so hard.
Move up one spot instead of tumbling down and further down.
Yeah, that's a fate I wouldn't wish on any
First,
song, no matter how
down,
crappy.
You were down to 10, and then you're down to 11.
Oof.
You're not even on the top 10.
No, that's a bad idea.
After that, it's down to 12. I mean, it could be past 20.
Let's go through the whole number line, Miss Elizabeth.
It's a stressful decline for a song that doesn't fight hard.
It is indeed. And at the end of the show, we're going to check in with surely another fighter, another good Smile Syndicate song. And this time, it's going to be Maniac from Beyond Time. So why not?
Okay, that's how we're ending the show. Okay, yeah.
Dear listener friend, Miss Elizabeth is new to the show. She's just joined us.
I have a lot of
co-host.
controls. I have a lot of controls to manage.
I told you that video thing was a bad idea.
Multiple different things.
Yeah, well, Miss Elizabeth will be checking in with us once in a while during the show while I shoulder the weight.
I still remember which podcast I'm on.
Okay, good, because this one's going to feature an Accuscope Horoscope, the most accurate horoscope in the business. My subconscious spews up nuggets of truth, and we collect them in the net.
It sounds gross, but it's not as gross as it sounds.
It sounds like we're going to get a reliable guide to this upcoming month, and Smileton Small Business has kicked in some cash, and we give them a soapbox in the latest paid advertisement.
And I'm not aware of that, so you are going to be the
great.
one reading it. Okay.
But first, wisdom.
Yeah, and I've agreed to read this one. Yeah.
This show has a lot of wisdom to provide, and it's not just wisdom from me and sometimes the occasional wisdom from you, Miss Elizabeth. There are other Smileton citizens who have a lot to contribute, and no one less than my yoga instructor, Angel. He's got an intense brand of yoga. He's changed my life, and he has graciously offered to give his wisdom for free to you, dear listener friend, on this very show. This is a segment we call a yoga moment with Angel. Hey, am I going to hear from Am I going to hear from Angel right now? No, you won't, because he's terrified of microphones. We brought him in for a test this past weekend. He thought he would work up the courage to actually record his own segment. Fainted dead away on the sidewalk before he even got into Smile Syndicate HQ.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another task for another day. Miss Elizabeth, you're going to speak with Angel's voice, are you not, right now?
I'm not sure if I can master his voice.
Well, let's at least deliver the message to the best of your ability.
But I will just certainly say the words, and I think that you'll know for sure.
And you'll feel them, and you'll believe them.
These are not my words for sure, because I'm not a participant.
Well, you're not a yoga master, for starters.
No, or a yoga student of his, but you are.
I am indeed.
Okay. Hey, yoga nerds, how's it hanging? Looks like it's feeding time at the barn, and you animals are looking for a trough full of yoga knowledge. Well, I've got a bucket full for you right here, so you better try to keep up.
Wow.
I knew when I opened Nirvana Yoga Studios that I would be sending shockwaves across the entire yoga community. The yoga establishment can handle my intensity, my passion, my stop-at-nothing approach to the art form. Great yoga minds have always faced great opposition from mediocre practitioners, and I knew that I would have to push through my patented yoga 10x times 1,000 method with a bulldozer of will if I was going to get anywhere.
See, I like that. He doesn't mince words. This is
No.
yoga's not some la-di-da fun time where let's relax and breathe kind of
Yes,
nonsense.
it
It's intense. And he's told us he faces great opposition from mediocre minds. They're stopping him. They're trying to stop him at every turn from putting out his brand of yoga. It's ridiculous that he should have to fight so hard. Well, actually, it's just as well that he does, because it just makes the intensity that much more intense, Miss Elizabeth. And that's what we need.
Yeah, I mean, I should keep reading, but he's got resistant students because he tortures them, basically.
Not the students. The students have bought in 100%. You know how expensive that class is? It's out of this world.
All
it's
right.
the yoga community at large and the world at large. It hasn't bought in yet, and that's to their folly.
I'll continue. And look at me now. While you've been sitting on your couch staring slack-jawed at the wall, I've been building a yoga colossus, my new dynamic yoga dynamo that has been taking the yoga world by storm, and even those creeps at the worst magazine in the world, International Yoga Communications, can no longer deny my burgeoning influence. Yep. He's just loud.
He's what loud?
He's very
that's
loud.
Strong. That's strength. That's intensity.
Is it?
That's a heart of a lion, Miss Elizabeth.
Which is why they sent a reporter to Smileton to get up close and personal with yours truly for a whole week to really understand what makes this yoga genius tick.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty privileged thing to be able to do, to spend a whole week with Angel.
This isn't the first time he's had to interact with the International Yoga Communications, though.
No, he hates that magazine. They trash him, and all the yoga students read it. They believe that rag.
Okay, when she arrived, I could see this reporter was skeptical of your old buddy Angel. When I picked her up from the Gowers Gulch Airport, she looked like she was in the last place on earth that she wanted to be. I took her straight to the yoga studio, and she had a front row seat as I blasted my students with a fire hose of yoga wisdom, and also a literal fire hose.
Yep. I've been on the receiving end of that more than once, Miss Elizabeth.
What, does it help you stretch or relax?
No, it does the opposite, Miss Elizabeth.
She watched me deliver 3 sessions right in a row, and by the time I was done, my voice was completely shot from all the screaming, and I was exhausted from all the grappling and the yoga dog wrangling. Her expression through the whole thing didn't change once. She was bored and thought that she was above the whole thing. Her snooty attitude got pretty frustrating, and I was sure that she was going to trash me and my studio, I guess in her magazine story. Mm-hmm. I let my emotions get the better of me, and that night I just had the yoga students yoga brawl with each other instead of teaching them anything.
Wow,
that's lazy.
It isn't lazy. It's a different method, Miss Elizabeth. Sometimes you just can't face delivering yoga wisdom to us, but we got to get some value out of the class, so we just get turned loose on each other in a yoga brawl, and that is exhausting. That's 3 hours of head on a swivel, fists at the ready. You don't know what direction the attack's going to come from. Sometimes people tag up together, team up and just go to work on you. It's a nightmare. A lot of screaming, a lot of tussling, a lot of pulling, a lot of punching. By the end of that, you're wrung out utterly. You never want to do yoga again, but then when you wake up the next day, you feel like I'm one step closer to the championship.
I think you feel lucky to have survived and still be able to walk around.
That's life.
The next day, I met up with this reporter at a coffee shop, and she had one of those computers that fold up. She wanted... Yeah, snooty computer. Yeah. She wanted to show me a video of her leading a yoga class. Turns out that she has a class of her own, too, in her own studio. I was blown away by what I was watching. I realized right away where all of her attitude was coming from. She teaches with at least the same degree of intensity as I do. Plus, she has yoga enforcers. No student is allowed to lose focus or give anything less than 1,000,000%.
Oof.
The sound of her screaming out yoga wisdom is truly the music of the yoga spheres. The yoga grappling techniques she demonstrated were incredible. She took on this 250-pound weightlifter type, and she had him screaming in about 20 seconds. Plus, she didn't have any yoga dogs. She had yoga bats.
My goodness.
Have you ever heard of yoga bats?
I haven't. I'm reeling right now. Yoga bats.
Well, Angel wants you to think on that. No wonder her students looked terrified.
Yeah.
So, Angel says, that is my update. Hey, Angel, you didn't teach us anything. What gives? 1, this disrespect to your yoga master is unacceptable. 2, when I learn something, you learned something. And trust me, I learned plenty.
Whoa. Boy, Angel's giving it to us right there. That's some truth-telling.
I would normally offer a yoga dog profile here. Maybe I will next time. The yoga dog pack is fine anyway. I saw them take down a bicycle courier in the park yesterday, and God, I laughed. Instead, I just want you to sit there and just turn the concept of yoga bats over in your mind. Be as amazed as I am. Yoga bats and the yoga instructor who conceived of them are going to be a game changer. I have a feeling there might be some yoga bats in the studio, Angel's yoga studio.
Oh boy.
That's it for the yoga moment. Namaste, you turds.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Elizabeth. You spoke with Angel's voice, no doubt about it. I could almost hear his voice channeled through you. That's a lot of yoga wisdom to be delivering in such a short span of time. And I got to admit, I'm distracted right now because of the concept of yoga bats. Yeah. I am scared. I'm not afraid to tell you that I'm not really looking forward to the next class.
I hope they're not yoga vampire bats.
At this point, it hardly would make a difference, Miss Elizabeth. If I got yoga dogs coming from one side, yoga bats from the other, it's gonna be a topsy-turvy. It's gonna be a crazy class, Miss Elizabeth.
It's gonna be very effective yoga class.
I'll be terrorized. Coming in at number 3 with a bullet. This is the Smile Syndicate with New Year's Skeeve. Hit it, kids. New Year's Skeeve by the Smile Syndicate right here on the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. My goodness, we're not anywhere near New Year's Eve, but I feel a new year dawning in my heart just because of that song.
Yeah, it's a really twinkly, sweet little song.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll probably be playing it again before this year is out.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, now it's time to face infinity, Miss Elizabeth.
Oh.
The infinite depths of my inner mind are going to spew up some truth.
You make it sound little gross, a little medical, which reminds me to ask you how your inner ear is feeling.
It's nothing to do with my inner ear, Miss Elizabeth. It's my inner mind.
From an ear infection.
No, I do not.
And sometimes it causes tinnitus, which you interpret as words, and then you give us, what's the word? Horoscopes.
Yes. Well, you've obviously got your well-rehearsed criticisms together there, Miss Elizabeth, because that's a bunch of nonsense. My inner mind, it's a roiling, toiling, boiling cauldron of the id. And these unfiltered prognostications come spurting out of the inner mind.
So gross.
Into the daylight, and we can only just watch and learn from them and use them to guide our upcoming month. I hear music.
Okay.
It is time, Miss Elizabeth. Let us see what the inner mind has in store for us all this upcoming month.
It's time to cover the audience in the spurting knowledge.
Libra. You're a Libra if you were born between September 23rd and October 22nd. You've spent weeks researching a new hairdo. Dozens of magazines reviewed, hairstylists consulted. You've finally made your decision, and while you're sitting at the salon, your stylist will get arrested for embezzling from the company. You'll be left with half a hairdo. You're going to learn the hard way that that's a lot worse than no hairdo at all.
Wow.
Jeepers. Sometimes I feel a little sad for some of our friends that get clobbered with a whammy like that from the Accuscope Horoscope. That's nothing to look forward to. There's going to be no avoiding it. A hairdo is in your future, Libra. It's going to be half a hairdo, and I think your life is going to get interesting.
It's going to be unsatisfactory. And also your hairstylist is going to get arrested.
It's going to be hellacious. Okay. Half a hairdo. That's no way to go through the month.
Okay.
Scorpio.
Well, some hairdos seem like half a hairdo. Maybe.
No, but then Miss Elizabeth.
This is half of one of those.
This is not going to be a finished conception.
Okay.
Scorpio. You're a Scorpio if you were born between October 23rd and November 21st.
Yeah.
Your homemade pizza sauce business will be the hit of the farmer's market. Your first day there, you'll sell out in 20 minutes. You'll have to tell the throngs of people clamoring for pizza sauce that you're sold out, and they'll have to come back next week. The enraged crowd will take their frustrations out on your pickup truck. After you see the estimate for the repairs, you'll calculate that you're about $2,000 in the hole when all is said and done.
Wow.
There you go, farmer's market. That's a fool's errand.
Yeah, don't market your stuff at the farmer's market.
When you go to the farmer's market, you're looking to get bid on the keister.
Yeah, and you know why? Is because you have to deal with all of the customers at the farmer's market.
Yeah, that's what happens at the farmer's market.
Because basically it's a riot waiting to happen.
Everybody's
happy.
Yeah. Until they get crossed.
Until they're not happy.
And then their patience runs out in 2 seconds. Sagittarius. You're a Sagittarius. November 22nd, December 21st. If you can slip your birth date into that range, you're a Sagittarius, no doubt about it. I don't believe you love country music so much. It really seems forced. You never listened to it up until about 6 months ago, and now you're all, hey, which Hank Williams is your favorite? This is a weird thing to be a poser about. Just saying. Sagittarius is always getting up to that kind of thing. It's disturbing. It's off-putting. I think we're going to have to cut Sagittarius out of our social circle.
Oh, no.
This kind of nonsense keeps up. Capricorn.
Are you Capricorn? You're not Capricorn.
No, not a Capricorn.
I think you're a Leo.
Capricorn, if December 22nd to January 19th is the Capricorn zone. You know those human-sized hamster wheels? If you don't, you're going to learn pretty quick this month. There's no metaphor here, by the way.
No. So 1/12 of the human population is going to be...
Hamster wheel city.
Now, are they going to be compelled to run in one 24/7 and like live in one, or is it just an optional like exercise routine?
I don't think it's optional. Very little on the Accuscope Horoscope is optional, Miss Elizabeth. Okay. Aquarius, you're an Aquarius person if you're born between January 20th, February 18th. The rose-colored glasses you wear are going to put you in the hospital this month. That white powder you put in your morning cup of joe won't be coffee whitener. It'll be ant poison. But those glasses will make the red letters spelling ant poison on the can invisible. So nice work. Good job.
Wow. So you are actually just warning that they are going to the hospital? They are not.
Yes, they won't take off those rose-colored glasses.
Why don't they take this information and improve their life? What isn't that the whole point of the Accuscope Horoscope?
Well, yeah,
Jason?
You'd like to think so, but Aquarius has shown a stubborn persistence and never listening to what Accuscope Horoscope has to tell them.
Okay,
and I'm going to say you're going to learn the hard way this month.
Just shift your glasses up. Just shift them up.
That's not going to help you. Pisces. You're a Pisces if you were born between February 19th and March 20th. The sign of the fish man.
Oh.
Didn't you notice the air gets sucked out of the room when you mentioned you were going to an open mic night and you wanted us all to come? I'd normally say stay home and work on your material, but in your case, I'd say maybe fill your time with volunteer work or collecting spoons.
So you're saying that they're not very funny?
Ugh. Have you seen Pisces in front of a microphone?
Yeah, but practice makes perfect.
No,
I mean, nobody's good the first time.
No, or the 20th time, apparently. Pisces has bombed like a...
Okay, Pisces, go for it.
No,
that's my advice.
Well, yeah, go for it, but don't expect me to be in the audience.
Okay, that's right.
Aries, March 21st to April 19th. An intoxicated neighbor will drive a forklift straight into your Subaru.
Oh, no.
Nothing you can do about it. I probably shouldn't have told you, actually, because this is going to be a big headache. Literally unavoidable, so don't try to think your way out of this one. Nothing you do will help. Kiss that Subaru goodbye. Sorry.
Wow.
See, sometimes there's a lot of clarity in what the Accuscope Horoscope is telling us here. The inner mind is allowing no argument this month.
Is going to drive a forklift into a Subaru.
Your Subaru,
okay,
Aries.
But surely, though, only if the Aries has a Subaru.
Well, they do. Otherwise, this wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
Taurus, April 20th to May 20th. The doctor you've been going to isn't really a doctor. They're a flim-flam bunco artist. Remember when you first went to them complaining of a stomach ache and they asked you where your stomach was? Real doctors don't do that. I'm not saying get rid of this person. Definitely don't do that. You'll stop to chat with them when you run into them downtown. They'll suddenly shout, "Look out!" and push you out of the way as a safe crashes down into the spot you were once standing in. This flim-flam bunco artist just saved your life.
Wow.
There's some good news for you, Taurus. It would have been curtains for you if it weren't for this flim-flam bunco artist doctor you're going to.
So in other words, it's not always bad to be going to and find out that you're attending a flim-flam
a charlatan
doctor.
giving you dangerously inaccurate medical advice sometimes is to your benefit, Taurus.
Because sometimes the only medical advice you need is, hey,
look out.
Look out. Get out of the way.
Gemini, May 21st to June 20th. Years of research, hundreds of experiments, dozens of books, an invisibility serum finally perfected, and the criminal uses to which you'll put it, all gone, ruined, destroyed by your cousin's nosy kids. Next time, lock the lab door when you have family over for grandma's birthday. Gemini.
All gone, ruined, and destroyed.
Yeah.
So you're saying that
nosy kids will get into your lab, destroy your invisibility serum, and all your work that led to it. You're left with nothing. Good work, Gemini.
Maybe
Lock the door next time.
Just stolen, and maybe now we have somebody invisible like in our studio.
Well, either way,
now.
Gemini's not going to benefit from all that work. Serves them right. Cancer, June 21st to July 22nd. The condo board has had it with you. You're probably going to get fined or something this month. Your stubbornness will be your downfall. I don't think the right to burn garbage in your bathtub is the hill you want to die on, but what do I know?
Okay.
You wouldn't want to be Cancer's neighbor this month or any month. Quite frankly, burning the garbage in the bathtub.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
They've gotten used to the convenience, but they don't care how bad it is for the neighbors. And the condo board's going to say something about it.
It's got to be a fire hazard. I mean...
Leo. You're a Leo if you were born between July 23rd and August 22nd. Your trip to a big city accordion store will be everything you've dreamed it would be. It's been a string of really crummy months for you, Leo, so you deserve this. Enjoy.
Wow, I feel like you wrote this just for yourself.
That's a slap in the face and a boot to the nethers, Miss Elizabeth. That's... It's outrageous for you to suggest that I write these in any sense of the word writing. All I do is record the messages as they burble up from my seething id.
All right.
There's no writing. There's no creativity about it.
I just feel like you've been talking a lot about wanting an accordion, and it just magically popped into your...
Because I'm a Leo and I accept my destiny. Virgo. August 23rd to September 22nd. Meddling with things you don't understand will prove surprisingly profitable this month. So get out there and get your hands in everything. Graveyard rituals, demonic summonings, ancient arcane magics. It's all good, Virgo.
Oh, wow. Well, that's me. So...
Jeepers. Wow,
so what did you
that's
say?
no good.
Graveyard rituals, demonic summonings, ancient
Everything.
arcane magics with a K.
You're always being told, don't meddle with things you don't understand. Miss Elizabeth, if you don't understand something, this horoscope is telling you to get in there.
Okay, will do.
Get up to your elbows in it and see what happens.
Awesome. Consider it done.
And Horpto, the 13th sign, the sign we were all born to be in and we are cursed to be separated from, Miss Elizabeth.
Okay.
We were all Horptos once.
Mm-hmm.
The history is too sad to relate here. I know.
Sad?
It's a tortured history, Miss Elizabeth.
Wow.
All humans were Horptos and we lived in harmony, and then the zodiac split asunder into the 12 pieces we know today, and it's been a tale of woe since then. And how do you know if you're a Horpto? Something to do with leap years and overlaying calendars and shining light through this Mayan thing? I don't know. It's complicated. Maybe in an After Dark we'll talk about it. Horpto, you will face a choice this month. Do you grab that priceless artifact and live a life of luxury, or do you instead save the lives of the barbershop quartet that kicked you out of the group? The volcano's erupting and you can't do both.
Well...
I've got no advice for you there, Horpto. That's a choice.
Yeah, well, I don't know any Horptos, so I feel like...
Don't you?
I don't think I do, Jason.
Well, that's the thing, Miss Elizabeth. You can't tell from looking, Miss Elizabeth. What do you think? What are you thinking of, Miss Elizabeth?
Well, I think that people would tell me if they were a Horpto. I mean, Jason...
No, not if they're going to face scorn.
So my question is anybody ever like a Leo most of the time and a Horpto for like 2 weeks out of the year?
Ooh, if that was true, we'd be Horptos all the time, every last one of us, and peace and harmony would return once again.
I don't mean by choice. I just mean...
Does it shift?
Does it shift, yeah.
Holy, have you ever seen a horoscope? Yeah. It doesn't say, whatever you're feeling this month, that's what you are. You were born into this.
Okay.
And that's the way it is, Miss Elizabeth.
All
until the day of Horpto returns.
If that's the case, then I hold that I've never met anybody who's told me that they were a Horpto.
Okay, well, I'll accept that, Miss Elizabeth. And the thing that I would request that you accept, dear listener friend, is our recommendation to check out the SmileSyndicate.com for the latest and greatest information on that crazy information superhighway. You'll get all the news and views, or at least get pointed to where you might find some news and views on whatever social media platform we happen to be dabbling in that day.
That's right.
And most importantly of all, you should be checking out patreon.com or locals.com.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been listening to the show a while and you're deciding it's time to support. It's time to guarantee the future viability of this show. It's time to put my money where my mouth is and gain access to behind the scenes stuff, including a whole other video podcast and this past week, Miss Elizabeth has been posting videos of me hard at work on 10 Fingers, 9 Toes, which we played earlier.
That's
Brand new
right.
Smile Syndicate song. There's plenty more of that stuff to come.
So you can see a little bit of a window into how the song was made and what your computer screen looks like when you're building the song and kind of how you do the structuring.
And you can kind of indulge your secretive voyeuristic tendencies by seeing how the sausage is made on this very show.
Exactly.
And Miss Elizabeth, can you please read that holy list of people who have done such a thing already?
So we want to give a great big shout out and a really big thank you and maybe a little kiss out to North End Kid, Little General, Truman, Jim, Chris, Adam, Ian, Son of Bauxite, Josh, Mark, and Eric.
Well,
thank you very, very much for your support.
You good people, you're terrific. I'm sick of people naysaying you. You'll never get that here when you're listening to the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. That's a guarantee. Now, here we are, at long last at the marquee song slot, that most coveted spot in all of podcasting. One more Smile Syndicate song to take us home, Miss Elizabeth. Let's sit back and open our ears to Maniac from Beyond Time. Listen.
Crawling from the meteor, the strangest of all men. Do not ask where he is from, a better question's when.
Maniac from Beyond Time by the Smile Syndicate right here on the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. My goodness, that's some acoustic chugging to power us up until the next episode of the Smile Syndicate Music Hour. Ms.
What
Elizabeth.
are we to make of the Maniac from Beyond Time, by the way?
Well, I don't know. I think this seemingly peaceful world of Smileton seems to be bedeviled sometimes by these cross-dimensional trillion-year-old beasts. Whether it's a round wheel of mystery that we'll be checking in with this coming Thursday, or this maniac.
Do you think the round wheel of mystery is kind of a maniac from Beyond Time?
Oh my goodness! Well, I hadn't even thought of that, Miss Elizabeth, and the thought is too terrifying to contemplate.
It's pretty terrifying. It's also kind of thrilling.
It may be for you, not for me.
Okay.
Well, this one's done. It's been fun. Miss Elizabeth, take us out.
That's it. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please consider becoming a citizen of Smileton by supporting this podcast on Patreon and Locals. Join the podcast supporting elite, enjoy exclusive content and access, and keep us on the joyful treadmill producing fun time content week in and week out. Please tell a friend about this podcast, spread the word, make a difference. Let's grow this family. So it's bye-bye from Jason.
Bye-bye.
And bye-bye from me. See you on Thursday. And as always, remember, friend, the sun is a jukebox. Thank you very much for watching this Smile Syndicate video. If you liked it and you want more, come on over to locals.com and you can check it out for free with a promo code. See you over there.
Father said